Bloody Orange podcast. Bad. Episode 107, I believe. If not, you can correct us in the comments. We'll leave the chat room open because you guys probably know better than we do at this point. I do have for our viewing pleasure in we'll leave it up in the background, the live high definition Earth views from the International Space Station. They're currently over the Indian Ocean and in the southern hemisphere, but they rotate the Earth every 45 minutes. There you go. You can see the Indian Ocean below them. But we're hoping as they come back up over, you'll see a sunset, and then you'll see a sunrise. But hopefully, that as they come across the northern part of the United States, probably in 20, 25 minutes, we're hoping to see a live view of the Aurora Borealis below from space. I thought that would be pretty cool to do on the show today. What's going on, Paul?
How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing, man. Look, it's wicked hilarious out there. Schumer loses the shutdown. AOC's out there. She's specifically out there calling Schumer out, implying Democrats, but Schumer by name only. And that tells me that instead of running for president this cycle in 2028, she's looking at Schumer's Senate seat in 2028. What do you think?
I think that's 100% correct analysis.
I think she'll win it
she
too.
knows that if she were to make a presidential run right now, she wouldn't have a chance. But if she takes the top seat in what is now the far left Democrat
It's a socialist party. It is.
Yeah.
I know there are still Democrats that vote, but the party it's a socialist party at this point. I mean, Mondani calls himself the Democrat Socialist. They just put the word Democrat in there to make you feel like it's not going to be as bad as all the other times we did socialism.
He's an idiot. He is absolutely an idiot. And I have to say, I wanted to try to like him because he's a young guy, you know what I mean? And when I first started paying attention, I thought, yeah, he seems to be pretty moderate, you know. And then the more he talked, the more I said, no, this guy's crazy.
Well, I think that's what I think that's what we see out of. They call themselves democratic socialists. So you got people like Bernie Sanders, obviously AOC, Jasmine Crockett, Mamdani, rising in popularity. They put democratic in front of it to make it sound not so scary. But I think the other tactic is that they talk moderate until they get elected, and then they do. What did he say like the last week or two before? Well, free buses, rent freezing, and universal child care, which everyone who's had to pay for child care understands it's outrageously expensive.
No law enforcement.
No law enforcement. Yeah, defund the police. I mean, I think the reason though, when you look at that, I think who was it? Was it you or was it JC? I was explaining this to a week or two ago. That the reason that young voters were excited by that is because they are fucking broke, absolutely, and they don't really care where the money comes and they don't understand that will ultimately come from them.
That's right.
They don't get that. They're just like, I don't care. Give me free child care. That'll save me $2,000 a month. You know, $500 a week.
Right. Yeah. And it's counterintuitive and at minimum disingenuous that they have that thought process.
It is, but I tried to really put myself into the position of somebody who's just gotten out of college or at least that age, living in New York, uh, has to have 8 to 10 roommates just to afford a flat, right?
Yeah,
And to
small
live in the
flat. Yeah,
city, right? And they're looking at life going, there is no way our generation is ever going to get ahead. We need some relief. They
yeah,
don't understand where the relief comes from. They just said that's he's offering relief. He's offering to bring prices down for me. I'm voting for that shit.
yeah, yeah, 100%. That, yeah,
Well, and no, they don't. They don't. They probably never paid much attention to politics. I would say probably 75% of the country doesn't pay much attention to it, other than what they might see browsing social media that they try to scroll past as fast as they can.
yeah,
And for obviously the baby boomer generation that still watches TV, they just get stuck watching it because that's what's on. That's all TV does anymore. It doesn't even matter what Netflix show you turn on.
yeah, yeah, that's right.
It's some black gay robot marries a black gay robot. And so, yeah, it led to this. And one of the first things I started posting after he won is like that I'm actually really excited to be able to watch this from a distance and watch everybody learn what socialist policies will do to a major city like New York.
Yeah,
I mean, the first thing that's going to happen is that people who can afford to move will move out of New York
we'll
City,
move.
and they
Yeah,
won't even stay in the state.
yeah.
They will flee the state because if the city's going that way, so goes the state. I mean, 8 million people, they can outvote the rest of the state. So,
So, yeah,
yeah,
so the other part of that is uh, people are not going to tolerate the ones that don't leave. They are not going to tolerate these uber liberal socialist policies. I mean, the chief of the fire department has already threatened to resign. The commissioner of NYPD says, "Yeah, this not going to work for us." So, and they've got union backing that normally I'm not a union guy, but this is one of those times where the union can be useful.
sure.
Yeah.
How long do you think it takes before like the young people that voted for him that weren't normal or they were not politically inclined. This might have been their first or second election cycle that they participated. The
Sure.
first one probably being Trump because they were told Trump is the devil and some sort of Nazi that's worse than a
Yeah.
Nazi. And that he makes Lenin look great, or terrible, or something like that. All the
Yeah.
propaganda they feel. How long do you think until it actually hits them in the pocketbook and they go, "Holy shit, my prices went up, not down"? A year, 2 years, four
No,
years?
I think a year or less.
Okay.
I think the effects are going to be immediate and they're going to be semi permanent. And
Of
then they're going
course.
to go, oh my God, what have we done?
I don't. When's the last time? And it's always through a rebate, so you never feel it. When's the last time taxes have actually gone down? So once they go up in New York, they're not going to go back down. Whatever that is, the business tax, the employment tax that he says he's going to put on companies to pay for everything.
Yeah, that's the business model. That's counterproductive. they're not ever going to go, oh, yeah. So, for me in Texas, first of all, I got a discount for being a veteran.
Sure.
And then I got another discount for being a disabled veteran.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if other states do that. But in Texas, they are very pro veteran and they really take care of us. As my taxes went from 2,300 to 600.
Sure. A lot of states do that, and some of that's at the federal level too. So I'm not. There's still like the tax code is so goddamn complicated between federal and state
Yeah,
in every state. Uh, there's still going to be all kinds of deductions, but the problem with New York uh, with Mom Donnie's plan is that he's going to require such a large budget increase to provide free things for people that the taxes are going to go up, and
yeah.
since Kathy Hochul's saying, "Well, no, we're not going to increase state income taxes, we're not going to do that," he'll find a new way he'll just tax local businesses, and those local businesses are all of a sudden go, "Well, my taxes just went up 12%. I have
Yeah,
to reduce my workforce by 8%."
yeah.
Right? And then people are going to go, What? What do you mean? I'm going to protest Starbucks now because they just let 8% of their workforce go in New York City." Right?
No,
I'm
that's
still not
exactly
getting it.
right, though, Sean.
Still not getting it because they're ultra wealthy corporations and they have no idea how a corporation works, and that even though they have probably massive revenue, they also have massive bills to pay, to employ everybody, to lease the stores, to buy and sell the product. But yeah, of course, that will be the propaganda that comes out of Mamdani's office, is that these evil corporations aren't willing to foot the bill for free childcare. And that one's huge. I can't imagine how many people in New York
Oh, bro. Really?
use childcare because
Yeah.
it's you have to. It's I had to use it. I mean, it's a thing. You
Yeah.
can't it's almost impossible to have one person stay home and take care of the kids anymore until they're school age. It's just impossible. You have to use childcare.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
so yeah, that they're going to get the free childcare. They'll feel that credit until all of a sudden they lose their job because their
Right.
job can't pay for that credit.
And I gotta say, Sean, really what I don't understand is why more Americans don't realize that. And I don't want to say, they turned a blind eye or they choose not to or anything, because this is beyond that. This is critical and it's basic information. And I just don't understand why this message isn't getting out.
My best guess is, well, first, if you look at the media, up until Elon bought X and then Chris is the CEO of Rumble,
Right.
you weren't allowed to even talk about it. Your post got shadow banned. So you could post it, but zero people saw it.
Yeah. No, I got that. Yeah.
And then, but also, but you got to look at this. I call it programming. They took two generations of youth below Gen X and slowly programmed them, not through just schools, but through media,
Yeah.
through the social media they were using even at the time, like games like Roblox And they said, like, they just slowly said these conservative, oh wait, these capitalist values is why you're so poor.
Was why, yeah,
And if you just hear that over and over, and then now you have kids 20 years later, and they're learning the same thing. You're reinforcing it now because you were programmed to believe all of that.
yeah,
40 years, 2 generations. That's all it took. So from what's it, 2025? From 1985 to 2025, that's all it took. Well, the left to program 2 generations into believing that capitalism is the worst thing to ever happen to humanity. That does not, and that's not even talking about what they said about Trump. Just capitalism. Capitalism is evil. Corporations are greedy. The reason you don't have enough money to take a vacation is because greedy corporations. We must take down the corporations. We must have socialism. The government will pay for it. But they never said how the government pays for it. They leave that part out. Unless you see it a different way. Uh, that's where I see it. 2 generations. That's all it took. Still there?
yeah.
Oh. 2 generations. That's all it took. Oh, do you think something different?
No, so listen, dude. I, I'm really adamant about this. That what you're saying is uh, completely in line with what's going on now,
Yeah.
and I, it's just hard for me to wrap my head around it, Shaun. That there there can't be 67 million people that don't get it and 77 million people that do get it. That just doesn't compute.
I think that I think there is, and even to this point, I've talked about my aunt often. She's 80 now, and she's always been a believer that there's plenty of money. The United States is the richest country in the world, and if we just take a little bit more from the rich, then everybody will get a fair share. And I was like, there is no money. We're the poorest country in the world. We're now $38 trillion in debt. And so the lie you're being sold is that we're the richest country in the world. And I tell you the opposite. There is no other country in the world or in the world's history that has ever held $38 trillion in debt. We're the poorest country in the world with a really fat lifestyle, Paul.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the reason we have a fat lifestyle is because Woodrow Wilson and others bonded us into debt. And people created the Federal Reserve, allowing debt bonding, which started this whole cycle into the national debt. Before that, we were absolutely debt free and ran on only tariffs without a
Right.
federal income tax.
That's
And
right.
so when people tell me tariffs is a tax, I say, yes, it is. Instead of sending me a $2,000 rebate, it's not even a check, Bissett said.
Yeah.
Instead of giving me a rebate, how about you just not charge me income tax anymore and we'll pay the tariffs? I mean, that's what we did for the first half of the first half of our time as a country, and we did just fine.
Yeah.
I mean, the assembly line came online, the Industrial Revolution, the
Right.
creation of iron and steel,
Right.
build skyscrapers, all happened under tariffs with no income tax.
Yeah.
So, in the income tax, keep the tariffs. And you know what? You know who that hurts the most? All those evil businesses you hate, because they buy more shit than you do, so they're gonna pay more tariff than you
So
do.
they're gonna make, yeah, that's right. So my
Right.
dad worked, I told you he's a project manager, built high-rise office building. Worked for the same man for 42 years. They were the same age and they were best friends. I mean, him and his family would come over to our house, for dinner and back and forth. And so they would. What my dad told me later was, if it was net 45, for payments on the construction loan,
Sure.
they would go 50 days out before they paid it so that they could collect all that interest or whatever interest was before the absolutely zero deadline. You got to pay 5 days after or you're
Yeah.
going to get penalized.
Oh, absolutely. And again, that's because we've gotten to, and again, Woodrow Wilson and other presidents who got us into
Yeah,
leveraging debt as a financial asset.
right.
So you're technically in debt because you have an invoice due to pay. You got a 45-day window or whatever your window is, depending on what company you work for. It
Yeah,
might be 15, might be 30.
yeah,
This one's
30 to
we're
45.
just
Yeah,
gonna use 45 with a 5-day late fee
right,
of like 0.01%. So,
right.
but you're gonna make 1%, losing 0.1% gives you 0.9% money made on that leveraged debt
Yeah,
that then you finally pay off, so that you're not delinquent, and then you wait for the next bill to come in. And this
yeah,
is where we didn't have any of these financial mechanisms in place whatsoever, before we started to bond federal debt. I don't know if anybody even knows that, but that's where all of
yeah.
these
Oh,
games
that's
came from.
absolutely right. What we would do, is make a payment and then go out and work forward, to accumulate a payment for the next round
Mhm.
that would always be higher than what was in the contract. So,
Oh,
and
sure.
it wasn't scope creep. It was we're performing to a higher standard, right? And
Yeah.
so, yeah,
Well, scope creep is a little harder to pull off than, faking your way into just "We found something."
yeah,
So you guys have to rescope.
yeah,
Right? Which that happens all the time in
right,
contract, even in the private sector. Somebody Donald Trump's building a skyscraper. Um, they'll go, "Oh, wait. We went a little too far. Now we're into the water basin of the Chicago River,
yeah.
so we're going to have to dam that and then structurally seal that to maintain the river."
Wow.
Right? Yeah, it happens. This stuff happens, and sometimes it's not intentional. Other times, whoops. Well, we're gonna get.
Yeah,
I mean, we're
no,
only
you're
making
right.
nine
Yeah,
percent profit on this contract. Let's
yeah.
just drive the price up a little bit.
That's right. Yep.
Well, and it happens way more with whether it's local, state, or federal. It happens way more to them because they don't employ. They just do a really bad job of employing somebody who's a subject matter expert to oversee the contract.
Yeah. So, yeah. And you know, That's because they get people right out of school and
It's
give them a
usually
low
cronies.
salary
It's usually
and try
nepotism,
to
Paul.
train them up.
With government, it's usually nepotism. Is you'll find is it's so and so senator's kid or so and so congressman's kid. They just graduated with their basket weaving purple hair degree, and they're going to oversee a major public works construction contract, and they have no idea what they don't even know what a front end loader is. They
So,
think it's a crane.
so we had an applicant like that, and we disqualified them,
Hmm.
and she filed a complaint. And
And
initially, we thought, oh, here we go. This is going to be some DEI bullshit. We're going to get shoved down our throat, and we're going to have to hire this heifer who doesn't know what she's doing.
and then hire somebody to go clean her shit up.
Yeah. So I stuck by my guns and I said, she is just not qualified for the job. So the judge asked, give me the position description. I
Yep.
said, here you go. Okay, give me her resume. Here you go. So I need a few days to,
Sure.
match these together. And I said, here is a document that we did with AI that matches her abilities to our contract.
Sure.
And the judge was like, oh, hell yeah, this is awesome.
Right,
And
and I
so
still need
what
3
we
days.
thought was going to take 3 or 4 days, she came back the next day and she said, yeah, you don't have to hire this heathen. She can't do
Wow.
the job.
Wow.
And
That's
it worked, Shaun. It worked. And what I love about it, it was totally legit. It
oh,
wasn't,
sure.
you know what I mean? It wasn't smoke and mirrors. It wasn't any kind
Well,
of
I guess my
surreptitious
question
anything.
is what type, obviously, it had to be a civil lawsuit, but what type of lawsuit did this employee bring saying that they didn't hire the hireable? Because she clearly wasn't hireable, but what was the complaint, the civil
The
complaint to
complaint
you?
was we didn't hire her because she was a minority female.
Okay. Yep, totally. Yeah, happens. I'm glad she lost because her claim was illegitimate. It had nothing to do with that.
Right.
So,
And I gotta say, she was totally capable, but just not in the position that we were hiring for. She had great qualifications, had good, previous leadership recommendations, and that kind of stuff. It just wasn't in our swim lane. It was just totally, and her, when we interviewed her, she was saying, yeah, I'm just trying to get into something different. And so that's why I applied for this job.
sure.
Well, she just had no propensity to meet the metrics that we were looking for. And when
Right.
we told her that, she's like, oh, you didn't hire me because I'm black. Oh, you
Of course.
and a woman.
Dude.
So you'll hear from my attorney.
Oh, great. We'll hear from your attorney
Okay.
then.
Yeah.
That's cool. Have a nice day. We'll talk soon, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's all you. I mean, it's ridiculous. And I
I
will
mean,
tell
what the hell
you,
are you supposed to do, bro?
no, that's
Yeah.
all you do. You say, okay, that's great.
Yeah.
We'll be in touch. I guess.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
And she's
Uh,
like, "Oh yeah, so you're a white nationalist, so
right, and you don't,
you
you just sit
fire
there,
other white
you just
guys."
sit there with a straight, solemn face, and you go, "Okay, again, have a good day. We're gonna hang
Yeah,
up now on this video call."
yeah.
Click. Yeah, but dude,
And so
that
here's
stuff's
the
been going
irony of
on
it, Sean.
for that stuff's been
Here's
going on since the 1950s.
here's the irony of it. The one we did select, his name is Babakar, and he's from India,
Sure,
and he is far and away top shelf, blows her out of her sock, blows anybody. We had 58 applications. We narrowed it down to 12, and then narrowed it down to Babakar and Zia Jabron.
sure.
And Babakar just blew everybody out of the water. And we're like, oh, are you okay with the money? Because the money's not really great.
Hmm.
And he said, this was so classic. He says, well, I'm not working right now, so any money at all would be really great.
It's
And we're like, boom, dude.
it's like that out there. I think that gets a lot of people frustrated when Trump talks about how good the economy is and the stock market. You and I talked about the stock market under Biden and Trump now, but Biden, the stock market is not the economy. The job market does suck, and it's
Yeah,
bleeding people because AI is taking over, starting with simple stuff like accounts payable,
right.
accounts receivable. In like companies, Amazon came out with a massive amount of layoffs and then said, "We're going to a hiring freeze. We're going to replace everybody with AI and robots."
Yeah,
Other companies have started to follow suit. So even the big
yeah,
banks now are going, "Wait, we don't need people sitting in front of a old IBM machine punching numbers anymore because an AI
yeah,
can do it, and we got to pay $300 or $3,000 a month for the AI, one AI, instead of paying nine
right,
thousand dollars a month for a meat bag to sit in
right.
front of a computer who doesn't really work the whole time because they're texting their friend and then they're checking Snapchat and then TikTok.
Yeah, that's right.
And I mean, people are going to find the transition is going to be really, really difficult for people. And not that I haven't spent my fair share of time looking around at different jobs too, just to see if I get one last good job in before the robots take over everything 5 or 10 years from now, right? So I could empathize with them at least. And say, young people, I get where you're coming from. I also understand that you probably don't have the qualifications for the job you're seeking based on where you went to university and what you went to university for. The only helpful thing I could tell you is if you really truly are a quick learner, in your interview, tell your employer, listen, every job I've been at, I've learned everything there was to know about the job in 6 months. And I stayed there for many years. That's the best advice I could give, Paul. I don't know. I don't know what else to tell you.
Right? What else are you gonna say, bro?
Well, I that you might not be being truthful when you say that, but there are people out there that are just that gifted that can learn the entire operation. Given that the company will share that information. Not all companies will for whatever reason.
Not, yeah, that's
But
true. Not all companies will, but I have to say, in the defense industry that I'm with, they they have gone from closed-minded, you got to know somebody, you got to have a rabbi to get on, to now it's like really open, and you got AI credentials and that kind of thing. It's really working out.
Well, and isn't it that because we are really in an employer's market where they can be picky and they can go, "Hey, I am totally willing." We've got there was one I interviewed with
Yeah,
about a month ago. I obviously they didn't hire me because for whatever reason, and that's totally fine. I'm not bummed out about it in the way that young people are because I just have a little more wisdom. That's all. But what like the way uh, the way the interview itself was
yeah,
actually new and unique, and they're like, "Hey,
right.
so just tell me about from when you grew up until now." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And so I told the story, and I told, well, well, I grew up in this town in northern Indiana, and if you drove up to Gary, you could see the Chicago city lights. And I was a 17-year-old manager, key holder, and had the safe code to the local car wash there. And ever since then, I've been in management or promoted to management at all of these other 5 or 6 jobs I had. And he goes, "You've only had 5 or 6 jobs?" I said, "Yeah. If you look at my resume, I typically stay 6 to 10 years at any place of employment." And this guy's like, "You sound fake." I was like, "There's my resume. Call them, check
Yeah,
it. You can
yeah. Why
verify
not?
my employment."
Yep.
Right? And then I also gave him the line, which is true for me. I said, "Everywhere I've been, I've learned every facet that I could. You can't learn everything about that specific company and industry because I get so interested in what we're doing." And I even told him, I was like, "I will wake up sometimes at a specific job and go, I'll wake up early in the morning and go, you know what? If we just did this different, we could fix X or fix Y." And he's
Six
like,
wide.
"There's
Yeah,
no fucking way." Well, he
yeah.
didn't say fucking, but he's like, I was like, Dude, there's people out there like me. They're rare, but so the recruiter called me back twice, 2 weeks apart, and said,
Oh, really?
they really love you. They just don't understand you, but they love you, and you're on their list. But
Oh, wow.
and they're like they actually never filled the job because they don't know what to do with it now. It was good. It was a project management job for something new they're trying to create. They don't carry an inventory. They make specific precision components or actual machinery in the
Right,
medical field.
right.
But occasionally they have a one-off extra spare, and they need to figure out how to unload those in a profitable way. I was like, that sounds like something that would be fun. And they're like,
Do they
"Yeah, we don't
do
even know how
they
to do that. Do you know how to do that?" And I was like, "No, but I'll figure it out."
I mean, really, dude?
Right? I mean, think about components for an MRI machine, that type of stuff. And they actually they laser cut the metal. They actually produce the microchips like that. That's that technical of an industry. So apparently the job's still open. It's been a month.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, whatever. I look. I
Shaun, what no, realistically, wouldn't you think there would be at least a dozen? I mean, super qualified 25-year-olds that could why is nobody apply I
no,
don't get
lots of people applied.
oh, they did.
I
Okay.
was told by my recruiter that I was the top 2 out of the 5 or 6 candidates that they had on their list. And I have no idea, she has no idea of what any of their qualifications were because they went either direct, and applied to them directly, or they were with a different recruiter. And she goes, "But I've talked to so and so over at so and so company,"
Right. Yeah.
and he's like, Yeah, they're amazed by you, but they can't figure out what they want to do with this thing, and they've just kind of set it on the back burner." And I told my recruiter, "It's like, listen, it's fine. It's it's fine if they get excited about me." And I gave them a really reasonable salary range. Then they'll call you. I was like, "Don't fuss over it. If something else comes onto your books, recruiter, let's take a look at that and have a conversation about that and see where we can go there." But I, you're saying, were there people not qualified? It's so what they probably got was MBAs, Masters in Business Administration, because the job title was project manager, who were MBAs in project management.
Right.
Project management MBAs don't necessarily know anything about technology. They've just been trained very well, and
Yeah.
some of them are very good, some of them are awful. Project managers, how to use project managed software, keep a schedule, keep a budget, and set meetings up. So they like if project management in some places, sorry if I'm offending you if you're a project manager and you do more, because there's some that do more. It mostly is a administrative job. It's secretary work, and they get paid very well to just keep everything on task through a very expensive monthly
Yeah.
price you pay for your project management software.
Right.
So when I offered them, I was like, "Yeah, I've managed all kinds of projects, but I also I do all this stuff, right?" Like, yeah. What do you want? Do you want a new Walgreens put up in 15 days? I've done it. Do you want a new red line bus system put into the city of Indianapolis? I've done it. Like, oh, I did that with a out of project management software fleet. So, uh, they're like, "What? You did what?" They're like, "You're not real." I'm like, "Well, I'm here on video, so I'm clearly not AI, Paul. I'm not AI."
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure. We can go back through the archives. We've been doing this shit for 4 years now,
Yeah.
and you'll just see that I'm me, but a little bit grayer with each
Yeah.
episode.
No, we've got. So you lost me here on this chart. What is this?
Oh, no, that looks like a solar that holy crap, that's a Soyuz capsule
Oh, shit.
hanging off
Is
the
it really?
side of the ISS. It's a bottom portion of a Soyuz capsule, it looks like.
Oh, wow.
Russian Soyuz. So the camera view rotates the whole time as this thing goes. It shows a different camera for 5-10 minutes,
Oh,
and
I
a
got
different
you.
camera.
Yeah.
So it was pointing down, past, it looked like the robot arm, and then now it just switched. It's pointing out into up into deeper space. Uh, yeah, I'm guessing this is the first time you've ever seen the live high definition Earth view cameras
Yeah.
from ISIS.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
so this is a cool feat. If you
kind of
guys
cool with the,
ever,
yeah, flat two and,
yeah, it's so if you ever want something, a conversation piece, I pulled it straight off NASA's website. But it's also live on YouTube. If you want a conversation piece, go to your TV while you're having friends over.
Right.
and just pull up the YouTube NASA HDev camera. Just search for that. It'll be the first link that pops up, and
Okay.
put that on. Just leave it on the TV in the background, and then people are gonna go, "What the hell is on your TV?" And you'd be like, "Earth," and they're like, "That
That's
doesn't look
cool,
right."
dude. Yeah.
It's amazing,
Wow.
and it's absolutely free. You don't have to have a subscription. You already pay for it with your tax dollars. So might as well use some of that socialism and watch what the government will give you because you're already paying for it. It's
Yeah,
telling
you're
you.
already paying for it. Yep. These live views from external cameras on the International Space Station have been temporarily suspended due to a routine loss of signal.
Uh huh.
Huh.
So there's companies, some in the defense industry, some in the space industry that are building out the space internet network with satellites. So the next generation of space station, which like this one's supposed to be decommissioned in 2032, I believe. We're gonna send it into the atmosphere and watch it burn to oblivion. It's gonna be a beautiful show. Obviously, we won't have any humans on it at that point, but uh,
Oh.
but well, because all we got to do, we're gonna send up a SpaceX rocket. They got the
Right.
concept. We're gonna put the nose of the rocket
Right.
on the space station and fire backwards
That's
against
correct. Yep.
to decelerate it. And that's all you got to do is decelerate it so that it slowly falls into Earth's atmosphere and completely burns up. And the show will be spectacular.
Oh, I like the way you present it.
Listen, I I don't care where I'm at. I am going to pull that up and live stream it when SpaceX does this maneuver. Because really the light show we've seen. Like, do you remember when Starship 8 blew up over the Caribbean and that light show? Did you ever see that video? And all of the stuff burning up as it comes into atmosphere. This thing's bigger. It's the size of a football field. The space station. Imagine
Wait,
a light
what?
show from a football field sized space station scorching through the atmosphere. It's gonna be incredible.
This thing,
Right, you're taking Soldier Field, and then you're gonna crash into
yeah,
the atmosphere.
it's already like Star Wars.
Well, and the science behind it isn't
Jesus Christ.
behind the orbiting this thing isn't crazy complicated. What's crazy complicated is the math to get the rocket booster from SpaceX, sorry, up into position to provide the necessary back force to
Right.
decelerate. Because it's been what? When did we send that thing up? Was it in mid 90s? And it's been going 17,500 miles an
Oh yeah.
hour since the mid 90s. I can't remember. It was 80s or 90s. I can't remember. Russia's added onto it. China's added onto it. China has their own space station now. I have no idea what that's doing because the
What?
CCP, it doesn't share information. I know you're shocked. You're all shocked. They don't share camera views like we're showing you tonight from their
Yeah.
space station.
Like what's his name on Expedition?
Ah, dude, you know what? You just made me think of something. how cool would we're just too old, but how cool would it be for some young entrepreneurial podcaster to do an Expedition Unknown style TV show for 6
Mhm.
months from the brand new space station that will
Right.
likely be a combination of Lockheed, Boeing, and SpaceX components.
Really?
That's my guess at what the next one will be. Lockheed is looking at alongside, I think they're partnering with Blue Origin, Jeff Bezos's company, for a lunar orbiter. SpaceX has they're going to use a one of their spaceships, starships, as a
Yeah.
lunar orbiter, and there's going to be a lot of competition as it comes to this. And that's what well, I talked to you a couple of weeks ago, but I'm seeing some really exciting things in the space industry that also marry with projects that the defense industry does that are not necessarily defense, but it has the same technologies. And so you're going to start seeing Boeing, Lockheed, even a Boeing
Even
failed
bro yeah,
miserably,
right.
miserably in space the last 20 years.
Yeah.
SLS, Space Launch Systems, which is a combination of three companies. You're going to see
King and George. Yeah.
and then you got the little guys too, and we can't count out the little guys like Neutron. Like they're like some of these other there's 5 or 6 fairly successful little guys, and you're going to see them probably contract with NASA as a subcontractor to a Boeing, a Lockheed, somebody like that. As we start to really build out space assets, and Elon got the contract with SpaceX recently for $2 billion to throw up defense satellites. Now, these aren't weapons, they don't do
Right.
any. Elon refuses to build any weapon systems, even though a rocket is a weapon. He refuses. But he won a contract with SpaceX, or actually, it was Gwynne Shotwell, the CEO of SpaceX, for $2 billion to build a satellite network for Ronald Reagan's Star Wars, or what Trump calls the Golden Dome, a missile detection system that can absolutely alert our military if there's any actions that are needed.
Yeah,
This stuff's all coming online. We were talking about the
no, that's right,
1980s. It's
yeah,
all coming online now,
yeah,
which is really incredible if you think about it.
yeah. So I just got back from a trade show up there, and it was it
Did they
was
talk about the Golden Dome?
yes, they did.
What?
Um,
Let's get into that.
so Driscoll, who's the secretary under Hegseth, gave a little speech, and he said this autonomous work was going to increase, and those to be successful should, wear their headpiece and the AI for using AI for developing weapon systems is really coming online now. And so they're training up their young troopers, younger than you and me, to use AI to develop and advance existing and new, um, weapons platforms.
Look, and I think we're gonna get to a point. Like, if you look at society and you look at what young people get out of a college degree and where they can find a job, we
And
talked
yeah,
about that earlier.
exactly.
But if you look at how their minds just work faster than ours, and they're so easily adaptable to new technologies, that they're going to be very successful. Even though that AI is going to do 80 or 90% of the jobs, they
Right.
will have a job because they know how to talk to the AI. They're
You're
like,
right. Yeah.
I've done this 1,000 times because I run or I work or I play in an AI video game, and I've
Right.
learned how to command prompt the AI video game to do what I want, which is I want this really beautiful woman to kill a dragon, and I want it to be very specific.
Right.
But because they learned how to make the woman beautiful and the dragon scary, they can also say, all right, now, so let's use those techniques and say, hey, I really need to understand solid fuel rockets and if we can gimbal the exhaust to aim it.
Okay.
I look, it sounds retarded, but if you gimbal the exhaust
Right.
and there's a
No, you're
camera on
right,
the
bro.
if there's a
100%.
camera on the pointy end of the thing,
Yep.
I
Yeah.
who beats that?
No, I'm with you. Yeah.
Who beats that? It's insane looking at where we're gonna go. I heard I didn't watch the full thing. I typically don't watch full things, but I heard a clip
Right.
about 2 minutes of Elon explaining how like even he sits up at night before he goes to bed. And he can't. He imagines. He's like,
Yeah.
oh my god. He goes, did we could like if the criminal justice system bought Optimus in 2 years or 5 years or 10, whatever, if they bought that, we could. He goes. He says something that Bernie Sanders would love. We
Yeah.
can reimagine criminal justice because we
Yeah.
could force an Optimus robot to follow criminals around, repeat
Oh, Lord.
criminals that
Yep.
judges consistently let out on low bonds and don't prosecute. We could force an Optimus to go around behind them and just
Right.
prevent them from doing crime. And you go, well, god damn, that sounds like the movie Minority Report,
Yeah.
and I don't like it. But he's just spitballing and going, you don't understand all of the things that AI inside of a robot that's
They
shaped like
do.
anything.
Yeah.
This Optimus is shaped like a human. Robots will be shaped like rockets too. So the the nightmare scenarios
Oh.
are unlimited. Now, if you're looking at we are approaching Terminator moment, I would say only if the AIs are trained to do no good. If the AIs are trained to be truthful and truth seeking, we'll be fine, and it's gonna
Yeah.
be a wild, weird world to live in. Think
Yeah.
about the Jetsons with flying cars and Rosie the robot. But Rosie the robot looks sexy. That's pretty much where it's gonna end up. That's my prediction, at least. uh, well, all right. So you said you said that were there other contractors there that weren't typically defense, but you said drones, but
Right.
were there space contractors or space companies, orbital space companies that were at the trade show?
Oh, 100%, dude.
What were they selling or buying?
Uh, so they were, so the AI space has gone to the next iteration. And so, for example, Shaun, the swarm drones, moving through the woods without any loss of a drone, coming out on the other side and attacking a target. So there are three or four companies doing that showed up at AUSA, and
Yep.
they've got dashboards and different ways to run it. One of the I thought was really clever. I'm not a game guy, but all the generation under you are all gamers.
Right, they can handle a remote
So
control.
they literally run this swarm drone package. It looks like exactly like, you know, I don't
No,
even know
no,
what
like
it's
like
called.
like you play Modern Warfare
Yeah,
or
like
Call of
Modern
Duty.
Warfare. They're like, it got two little
Yeah,
pixel, two
joysticks,
little
you get the
things
buttons
and
to
some buttons and stuff. And I watched some simulations, and I'm like, w-
I think I think that
and I this one guy who had developed this, I'm like, hey man, what's your name? Oh, I'm Todd. Oh,
Hi, I'm
Todd, where'd
Corey.
you go to school?
I talk to
MIT.
computers, I don't talk to humans.
Yeah. Oh, you went to MIT.
Of course.
Well, do you what what do you, what did you learn about AI at MIT? Well, the multiplex and modulation of the parameters were socially, and I'm like, okay,
Right.
thank you.
I get that, and people are that way, which is funny. But I would say their Generation 3 drone swarms
Yeah,
won't need anybody at a controller.
no,
And they're on Generation point 5. They haven't hit
yeah,
Generation 1 yet. They're
yeah,
still in beta. But that's where we're at is a modern world.
yeah,
I believe, and I really do believe Trump's policies at being very AI focused, building out nuclear could power these AI stations. Elon
sure,
has
yeah,
said that his Gen 3 Starlink satellites will move data centers up into orbit, so that will take away the drain of the heat sink or
yeah,
of the heat dissipation that we need so much water for and the electricity because they'll just get it from their solar panels. And there's going to be lots of options out
yeah.
there, lots of options. I'm not here to blow smoke up SpaceX ass. I just think that's a great idea.
No, it's a
Why not?
great
Why not
idea.
throw?
Yeah.
Why not throw data centers into space and just let them fly around the Earth? So, uh, we're gonna see. Like, I think Trump is actually right that we're about to see. It's going to change everything, and it's going to be a huge, hard adjustment for human
Yeah,
beings. We're about to see the biggest age since the assembly line happen to the whole world. And now, third world countries, we can talk about this later. We're getting close to closing this one out. Will they adopt it? No. But the first world countries will, and they will build massive wealth. We don't know exactly how yet, but they will.
right,
Massive wealth beyond anything we've ever done before,
right.
beyond what Henry Ford did when he
Yeah.
introduced the assembly line. It's gonna be wicked crazy, Paul. Wicked crazy.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Any
And
final comments?
huh?
Any final thoughts before we close
So
this one
my
out?
final thoughts are the company I work for, we're on the leading edge of a lot of this stuff, and we're teaming with folks like General Dynamics
They did
and
great stuff.
Raytheon, and we're bringing our uh, missile testing bona fides and our uh, range management bona fides uh, to team with these guys that are doing this leading
Oh,
edge
that
stuff.
that weird AI guy that can make the rocket exhaust gimbal?
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah,
Right? That way
right.
I have a very precise strike on
Yeah,
my target, which is just a banana tree. We
yeah,
we we
and
don't
he's
condone violence.
24.
We just kill trees.
Oh,
So
and I'm like, "Yeah,
yeah,
you're
he's like, "Yeah, I
younger
ran
than my
a
youngest
AI. It
son,
took me
so
about
I
3 hours."
automatically hate you."
Here's how you laser cut, the whole thing. Here you go. And those guys are out there. Those girls are out there that are
Yeah,
just super, super AI tech.
yeah.
They understand the whole thing. They get it. They practice it. They play in it.
So I just hired a gal to run our uh, range missile testing site. You know, the old ICBM site, Shaun.
Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
know, Minot and Fallon and those things. And she's like, "Oh yeah, that's 80s technology." I'm like,
Right. She's like, I remember COBOL from
"Yeah,
from high school.
yeah." A- And I'm like, "Okay, cool. We're only paying 65,000 a year." And
hmm
she's like, "Yeah, I
She's
don't
like,
have a job, so
she's like,
65,000 a year
Starbucks only
sounds good."
pays 20,000 a year. So can we talk more?
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, these young people I just love. I
Well,
love their patriotism. I
yes.
love their technical ability. I really do just love that.
It's really incredible. It
Yeah.
is. We'll see. I mean, obviously, they're the ones that are gonna take us into an unbelievable future that you and I can't even imagine. But
Right.
they're dreaming it up while they sit around and smoke weed and play video games.
Yeah.
So honestly, so
Yeah. I can't wait to retire.
right? Yeah, just give me that free $2,000 check, Trump. Whatever.
Yeah, there you go, bro.
Yeah, because that'll fix everything.
Yeah.
Let's close it out. I had a great time tonight. Thanks, Paul. Just love
Thank
having
you,
you.
brother. Good seeing you, man. Love you.
Yeah. I didn't even think there was a lunch Friday, but I don't claim to be enough to talk about. So I have no idea how to keep up with the record. Right? I'm closing out episode 107. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Have a good night, or fuck bad.